let's consider a few ways to soften our cynicism and develop greater empathy and compassion for our fellow human beings. Number one, let's think of people as more like our brothers or sisters. This perspective may be rooted in religious beliefs that say we're all created by the same God, or that we are made of the same stardust. Either way, when we allow ourselves to remember that we are cosmically connected, we treat people in kinder, more loving ways. Sounds a little cheesy, maybe, but thinking that we're all making the same difficult journey together on the same unpredictable ocean has often helped me be more compassionate when I was feeling anything but. Number two, interact with people face to face. According to studies that have been tracking this since 1979, college students are 40% less empathetic than their counterparts 30 years ago. Why the decline? I would argue that it can be traced to the fact that they're interacting less face-to-face and more as disembodied selves online. Seeing each other's facial expressions, hearing a person's voice is what literally triggers empathy in our brains. In the absence of these cues, we're more likely to think nefarious thoughts about them, or not even control unchecked anger that we might begin to feel. So get out from behind of your computer screen more often and interact with people in the real world. As you do, the general feeling that people are freaking terrible that can come from spending too much time online will often melt into, there are some really great people in the world. Number three, read more fiction or even real life, non-fiction life stories. Studies show that reading fictional literature exercises the mental muscles that strengthen empathy. Stories about people are about relationships. We learn from them. We see ourselves and others in the stories. They help us imagine relating to different people in different contexts of life. The latest personality research by Dr. Dan P. McAdams explains that personality development has basically three layers. We are born with certain innate and environmental influences, such as our temperament and our environmental struggles or challenges, or even our advantages. The next level is about setting goals and developing what our values are. But the final level is where we become autobiographical authors, selecting experiences, giving them meaning and purpose, and using them to write a fullness of our personology. Imagine a different story about people who annoy you, for example. Again, remember, we're all storytellers. When you cut someone off while driving, your story that you're telling yourself is, oh, I'm sorry, but I have an interview to get to, or I'm late to pick up my child, or, oh my gosh, they weren't watching and wouldn't let me in. You get the picture. But when someone else cuts you off, you think, what a complete dog's behind. You tend to chalk it, your own behaviors up to, circumstances, but blame their misbehaviors on some inherent character flaw. Imagine that they didn't mean to do what they just did. I am sorry, but offer the same break you give to yourself to others. You will discover it does wonders for your blood pressure. Also, be curious about people. Learn about different personality styles and tendencies. Commit to building your emotional intelligence. Ask people clarifying questions. Don't assume the worst. If you would like to learn more about yourself and others, consider looking into Primary Colors personality tests and insight tools. You can truly learn something about life and the human condition from every single person you actually connect with and begin to understand. The more you develop your empathy, the stronger your emotional intelligence becomes. The more you realize that everyone has struggles and challenges and stressors just like you, and the more you will actually be moved to feel compassion for them. When we feel compassion for other people, we are more generous, more giving, more positive, more hopeful, and just simply better people in general. So we want to make this a better world. Number one, remember to be appreciative. And number two, really build and strengthen your empathy for other people.